Good morning. We're continuing on with our game jam, and today I was going to look at creating a conversational system. But um, because of this kind of game, you need to be able to complete one thing to do something else, and therefore, different characters' conversation pieces will change depending on that. So, um, I like to call it a conditional conversation system. And Uh, I'm not going to do much talking for this. I'm just going to be doing a lot of coding. The only thing since the last video that's different is that I have added the Odin inspector to my project. Also, I should try to move that over. Um, oh wait, I think Odin's one that doesn't like to be moved. So this will be Odin in here. There it is, Odin inspector. All right, and that just allows me to customize my inspector in without having to create my own custom drawers or custom interfaces or anything. Okay, so let's get started where reload. Actually, let's make sure everything's nice and neat. So therefore, project, scripts, folder. What do I want? I want this to be conversation. Okay, let me just show you how I go about doing these. Actually, let me just go back. Assets, plans. I haven't checked to see if I'm actually streaming properly. I don't think I am. Let's go to content, live. No, I am streaming. Okay. I just can't find it in my studio. There it is. Analytics. All right. Okay, so let us show you what I'm going to do. Okay, so basically you're going to have your NPC. NPC is going to have a dialogue system on him. Now, this dialogue system is where it's going to check for certain conditions to see which dialogue actually runs. So you're going to have a normal dialogue. This is a dialogue that runs when no condition is met. Then you're going to have your conditions. And I'm going to go simple on this. I'm just going to have one condition. If the condition's met, do one thing. If not, do something else. So those conditions are condition. Let's do condition dialog. And the way that works is that I'm going to have a condition scriptable object. Now, the conditional scriptable object is one part of a code that just allows me to make a blanket decision on creating a bunch of other condition stuff. So basically, I could have maybe a condition for has met or has met someone. That can be a condition. Has item. Visited a location. So all of these are different conditions that I could have, and for that I'm going to have one umbrella thing called condition SO, and I can then create each of these with that one script. And normally I've done these before in the past as drop downs, but then it gets really complex on having to do a switch case to see which drop down is selected. I found an easier way to do it, so I'm going to go with the easier way. I actually had a viewer and they're gone. Okay, so let's get into our coding. Like I said, I'm not going to say much this morning. I'm just going to get into coding. Conditions main code. So I'm going to want to have why is it taking so long? Okay, so this is going to be simple. Like I said, it's just going to be the normal or the condition. So this would take a oh, I haven't created that yet. Stupid me. Why is there something? Oh no. I need a dialogue, or let's call it the conversation. This is just some placeholders for now, and let's look into this conversation SO now. Okay, first things first, it's a scriptable object. And this is going to be the base for things. So I'm going to make this an abstract class with okay, so I should be able to check and see if a condition has been met, and let's say the condition says has met. Rather than doing multiple pieces of coding on one for has met and one for has not met, I can easily just reverse the condition. Okay, so that would be that's just my condition scriptable object. When I'm using this now, let's say I want to make a condition. So I have conditions here. Let's do the has met. For that, I'm going to need create folder tools. So that's one of our characters, which is the North. We've got the Scarecrow, Lion, Tin Man. There'll be others, but I'll leave it at that for now. So I want in here oh no, I was going to create a new condition. So in here, I can go and say that this is this will take from our condition SO. For it to work, I have to implement was that? No, it's not that. Yep, there we go. I do not need this. And this is based on having serialize field what serialize field am I using here? I'm going to be using the did I call them characters? Yeah, characters. Character. And how do we go about doing this? This will be if how do I know if I've met a character? Okay, so I need put this in tools and let's call this data storage. I've got to go into Unity 6's default settings because whenever I create a new script, I've got Unity Engine, but that's missing, which I hate having. I'd rather have to take things out that I'm not using than having to put things in that I'm using. List of characters. Okay, and public bool net character. Perfect. So that's just a check to see if I've met a character, and we'll use that in the condition to say if I could, let's do this. Can you do this all in one if? No. So if data storage instance dot net character no, just character, small c. So if I've met the character and not reversed, this means I have met the character. Then return true, else if that, and I'm going to flip that. There we go. So this is the condition for having met a character. Either I've met the character and I'm not reversing that statement, then it's true. If I have not met the character and I've reversed the statement, it'll be true, which means this is met, this is not met. And otherwise, return false. I have not met the condition. So these are me meeting the conditions. That either I've met the character or I've not met the character. Which means that in the conversation condition, and I'm going to add in here to reverse the condition. Okay. Oh, I'm going to change. I've got to close this because I'm going to change the name of this condition type. There we go. All right, so let's say I had an NPC. Create empty, this is my NPC. And I'm going to add my dialogue. No, it's conversation. So there I've got the default. Oh, ew. What happened there? Default conversation, conditional conversation. Right, so here I could put in the condition and reverse it, and this will be the conversation that I'll run if that condition is met. Otherwise, if it's not met, I'm just going to run this conversation. Okay, so I'm going to need some extra stuff in here. Folder. I realized I was missing that yesterday. And then let's do a folder for characters. And let's call this, let's do this as Scarecrow. Folder, scripts, rights, actually, delete, desktop. Excuse me. Don't think I'll need that. Okay, scriptable objects. Let's go in here and do. Oh, right. Um, so you will not do it here. It has to be done here for actually being able to create the condition. So I'm going to do create menu. Oops. And this is file name. Let's do this as you met condition, comma. All right. Now I should be able to yeah. Um, they've actually changed it to being at the bottom this time in Unity 6. So there's my met person, and I'm going to say met scarecrow, and that's all I have to do is just select someone I've met. There's scarecrow. All right. And now in the NPC, I can take this, just drag that in there, and if I've not met him, say that. If I have met him, say that. I should not be doing this because I don't want to make it too complex, but yeah, I'm going to have to expand on this one. I'm just going to call this condition, and this is going to take in these three things, or no. Those two things, and this should be public. so that's the condition, and then do a public class. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to have multiple conditions to run a dialog. So first I need a condition, which is the condition in the reverse, and then I can link a bunch of conditions together into a list, which if that list of conditions is true, I will run that condition. And I just need to raise my mic up a little bit. There we go. All right. So my conditions are going to be the list, and once again, and for some reason, hold on, when I start typing this, I should be given an option, list. Yeah, okay, there it is. Yeah, stupid me. List of condition and we'll call that conditions equals new list. Then we're going to do the public conversation, and this is going to be just grab this. Get rid of that. Okay. Now I can do a serialized field for our conditions. I could use the same thing there. I don't like having to name something the same thing, but oh, I'll use dialogue instead of that's conversation. That's fine. Now, usually when I build this kind of system, I have multiple of these. So this would also be a list because it's going to be that if these conditions are met, we're going to go with this dialogue. If these conditions are met, we'll go with this dialogue. If these conditions are met, we'll go with this dialogue. If none are met, then we go with the default conversation. So I might need to do a list for this as well. Okay, so let's take a look at how this is going to look now. Okay. Why is that? What's wrong? Got the default conversation, got the list here. NPC conversation. Oh, stupid me. Right. These need to have right. If I don't have that, you can't see them. They're there. Okay, and this list is going to look weird because this is the Odin this system, which I think I have. Where's Odin? Tools, Odin. Okay, lists. They have something for lists in here. Collections. And there's something to show. Okay, so that's showing element. If I add another one, not too partial to black, let's go with this. All right, that looks okay to me. And now the conditions would look like that. All right, that's fine by me. Okay, so if I grab the condition, I can then say I want met scarecrow. So it'll say something if I've met the scarecrow. So for instance, if this was the Witch of the North, only if I've met all of the characters is it actually going to run a certain dialogue. Otherwise, she keeps saying the same thing. So in here, this is where I want to do multiple conditions. So met scarecrow, met lion, and met tin man. So 1, 2, 3. Get rid of those. So if those 3 conditions, I've met each of them, then I will run the conversation. That's why I need this list. Having this big list, maybe I need to meet all of them and she says something which will send you down another path to pick up something else, but then when you come back you have to have met all of them and have that certain something to get the final dialogue. And if you don't have that thing and you've never met anyone, then basically you just have the main dialogue, the default conversation. So that's how I normally build my conversation tree. So in order to get that to work though, I've got to check to see which dialogue I'm going to run. And in order to do that, that will go in here. So when you go up to the character, it needs to get a dialog. So I'm going to put this as a public I'm going to return a conversation. No, I'm going to return a dialogue, which is a conversation. Yes. So return that, and we'll call it get. Put this capital dialogue. And I'm not going to do this as a function. I'm just going to do this, but let's separate that out. Okay, so what am I going to return? I've got to loop through all of the condition dialogues. No, it's conditions. In condition dialog. Oops. Oh, con. Okay, so then I've got to find out. First, I'm going to set up a bool condition satisfied. So I'm going to assume the condition is satisfied, and we'll loop through them to find out if they're not satisfied. So this is going to be our con is from conditions. I'm going to loop through this list now of condition. So for each condition, C in con dot conditions. Okay, and condition satisfied is equal to C dot condition dot condition met, and I'm passing in the reverse, no, not reversed, passing in reverse condition. Oh, sorry, C dot reverse condition. Right. Okay, so the second that that is false, let me break out of that, because why check anything else? We have a meta condition. So if we have a meta condition, we need to get out. So I'm going to break out of that list, and I'm going to check again. But this time I check to see if return con dot no, it's return, yes, return that. Right. Oops. Come on. Right. Actually, I don't even need all of that. Okay. So this is saying that I've gone through all of these and all the conditions are met. So if the condition is satisfied, I'll return that. And then this is outside of the for loop. Make sure the default conversation is not null. And I'll return the default conversation. Otherwise, I need to return null. Yeah. Okay, this is going to find that all of our conditions are true. If it's not, break out of it. Sorry, if any condition is not satisfied, break out of it. And then we check. If it is satisfied, we'll return that. But if it wasn't satisfied, we broke out, leaving condition satisfied as false. Because if this ever returned false, break out, this is now set to false. We had set it to true before. It's now set to false, which means this is not going to run. And if that doesn't run, we don't return. So if we don't return, we keep on going. And then this is going to run saying, well, run the default conversation. If there's no default conversation, run null. There should be, but that's just to check. Save. And that's it for our conversation. Next thing we're going to do is the actual dialogue system. Alright, so let's get rid of that. I created a dialogue, didn't I? Somewhere here. Conversation, yes I did. And I just left it as this. This is going to be a scriptable object as well. But this is a special one. It's just a normal scriptable object. So create asset menu. File name is new dialog. Dialog. Now it's in here that I'm going to be using Odin. Let me just check the stream. All right, and I'm probably gonna have to go back and forth with that Odin because it's quite complex. Okay, so conversation. So the way I do it is that I have what I call dialogue branches. And usually I'll have stuff in there where you can actually make choices. So you can lead the conversation into different branches, but I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm just going to say one branch leads the next, leads the next. So it's just a conversation. So I'm going to call this the conversation, just a list of branches. So I'll need to actually create main scripts, main code. This is that should actually have been conversation SO, so let's rename it. Yes. Thank you. And we'll have our public serialized public. And this is going to have the conversation branch. And that's all we need. And then the branch itself is where all the magic happens. Branch, branch, branch. All right. This is not a mono behavior. This is going to need some serializable. And okay, so first things I'm going to need public characters. So this is the person who's speaking, so I'm going to grab their name. Usually I'll have a what do you call those? A portrait picture of the person, but I'm not going to do that in this. I'm just going to use their name. Next is I need a list. No, this is part of the list. This is the actual dialogue, and I want this to be a text area. Text area 310. Okay, and I'm gonna just create some stuff here. Folder. I'm actually going to delete that guy because that's something that is for her to meet the scarecrow. So this is the witch, NPC Witch of the North. And I want to see conditions. That should have been met scarecrow. And then run a conversation. I can do that in here. Dialogue. met everyone. Oops. Excuse me. Right, this is the dialogue. Okay, this is a dialogue tree. A dialogue tree. Alright, I have this in another project. Sprites. Alright, I can't find it. I'm just going to do a search. So let's do something simple. Save image. No, wrong drive. Sweet project. Be a sprite. Okay, so this is the tree icon. The other one is, let's do see how condition icons would look. A checklist, yes, that makes sense. This is condition icon. Let's check the Discord for the jam, see what people are saying. I guess no one's awake yet. Okay. Okay, so we have this. This will be image size. Ooh. So 256, and save. And then you 56. Oh, what went wrong? Image size 256. Oh, 256. Save. And give review. Okay, so I should be able to go to main code, conversation SO is the tree. And condition SO that. Save. I might have to restart for that. It's worth it in the end because having to sort through everything with the exact same icon is going to be a nightmare. Okay, the on-screen chat thing works. Good. All right, there's no one in the chat, so I just want to test it. And let's see what I'm going to do here. Did the icons work? One worked, the other one did not. The other one did not because I put it on I put it on this, which that should affect these. Nope, it doesn't. But this, maybe this is met person. Oh, so I can have a different icon for each of those. Anyhow, condition icon. So I can have one like with the clipboard but have a person's face, or the clipboard and have an item, or the clipboard and have a location. That would work for that. I'm not going to restart. I could tell those apart. Anyhow, these are my trees. If I go for a larger icon, I can see that's a conversation tree. That'll be a condition. All right, so let's look at our trees. Branch. And branch 1 will be the witch to the north saying something. Hello there. Okay, now I want to have some effects. Also, I want the branches to do, I want to be able to have, when you hit a branch, events will happen. So first thing I'm going to do, I want to do an effect. So hello there. I see that you have met everyone. It is time to head to the palace. Okay, I want to have some fancy stuff happening here. So for that, I need to be using the text animator. And I'm going to use 3 of their animations. Okay, they keep those animations in a resources folder. So plugins, no downloads, text animator, resources, animation list. Here we go. So they've got wave, shake, and bounce. Those are the three that I'm going to be using: wave, shake, and bounce. So for that, I'm going to do a public enum effect type wave, shake, bounce. Okay, I'm going to need now to set up our effect. So within the dialog, I'm going to say I want a public bool to see if I want to add an effect. None. No. Yeah, I'm going to do multiple effects. So for that, I need a list, public list, and this will be an effect. So I'm going to do a system serializable public class effects. So this will be a list of effects. Text effect, new list of effects. All right, I'm going to need what if I just go to use one of them, because I'm going to need to do if a value changes, if this value changes, I need to check on stuff. On value changed, and that brought in OnInspector. Good. I'm creating a new effect. And I'm going to need down here void new effect. So if text effect count equals 0, don't do anything. If the string dialog is equal to string.empty or dialog is equal to this, I never really remember which is the proper one to use, so I use them both. So I'm not doing anything. I need to break it apart into words. Dialog RD words. Dialog split, and I'm going to be splitting with a space. Okay, if the word's length is 0, again, return. Otherwise, text effect I want the last one in the list dot count -1 dot right. In here I'm going to have first let's do public color. Okay, and then public type effect. All right. Now some Odin stuff here. On value changed. Show text. Hold on. That no. That. Right. Okay. So this is going to be a slider. So it's a min-max slider. Okay, and let's do public vector to int, and this will be the effects range, and we'll just set it as that for default. Nope, let's do vector to int dot 0 default, and then I want to have a public string effect text, and I don't want anyone to touch it, so this is going to be read only. Okay. Now this show range is show range text. This is going to take the okay, so I need to get this into here, and that's what this was going to be doing. So I need some sort of text which is a string, and that is where I'm going to store the string. I also need to this was going to set a range. So I'm going to do a public void set ranges. I'm going to take an int of a max, and the string is the stored string. Good. And if effect range dot y is greater than the max, then effect range is equal to int dot 0. So again, set that to 0, and now the dynamic range is equal to new to int, but that is going to be the max, and store string is store string. Okay, so this is going to get all the information into there. So in other words, that's where we were doing our new effect, and I now need to set the range as a dialog words dot length -1 and dialog. So that is going to be passed in to this. So whenever I create a new effect, it's going to take the dialog of that, and it's going to take this dialog and pass it into the effect. And it's also going to find out how many words there are, so ranging from 0 to the end -1, how many words are there in the entire thing, because that's the maximum range that my sliders. So when I'm doing my effect, I can say I want the effect to be from word 3 to word 5, but if there's only 4 words, it'll cause an error. So that's why we're saying we need a maximum range. Okay, so and if I change my dialog, then I need to do stuff as well. So once again, OnValueChanged, this time ShowEffectedText. Let's copy that. Void. Alright, so in here we're going to take our, once again, dialog words equals dialog dot split and use space. Because with no words, we don't need to do anything. For each effect in what did I call it? Text effects. Text effect. Okay. Okay, so that sets those up. This sets the ranges, and the show range text is when we are doing this, when I change the range. So when I change the range, I want to take, where is it? The stored string, pull out the right words, and then put them into this string here, which is a read only. So once again, I don't know why I would choose that. If dialog words dot length is equal to 0, return string. And T for x is less than or equal to effect range dot y I plus plus, then dialog range is equal to dialog range plus dialog words I plus a space. Right. Then effect text is equal to dialog range. All right, let's see how this looks. Give it a test run. Nope, not you. You. All right, let's find you. There we go. And there's our text effect. So I can add a color to it, and here's the effect's text. And notice it's empty right now. If I change this, I can see hello there, I see that. Let's say I want to get the words Wizard of Oz. That's near the end. So let's just do this. Mighty Wizard of Oz. There. So we'll have the wave effect, and let's put Wizard of Oz in gold. Yep. And we'll do the wave effect on Wizard of Oz, which is between 20 and 21. All right, we have that. Now we need, so I can also see that this was a condition, meet everyone. So let's say I want to do another effect. And I'm going to say, let's put it in green and bounce it. And this is that you have met everyone. That's my condition there. Let's go darker green. Okay, so we're going to have two effects on this text. One is a bounce and one is a wave. With the text editor or the text animator, normally what you do is you come in here and you just say, I want wave, and then you would close it, wave, like that, and that's how you get your effects to happen. And you do your color and you do all that kind of stuff. I do this system here to make it manual. So I might actually just want to do a none as well. Let's do a none. Because I might just want the color only. All right, now when I need to get that dialogue, I'm going to have to apply all these effects. So, I'm just looking for stuff. All right. So inside of this, right, inside of the conversation branch, when you need to return the dialogue, I'm actually going to set this as serializable. Why? Because these need it. Oh, not serializable. Serialized field. Stupid me. Right. Nothing outside this conversation branch needs to get it, because that's the pure dialogue. I need to say public, and this is a string. Get the dialogue. Okay, so that dialogue I am going to be using. All right, let's do if text effect dot count is 0. I'm going to return the dialogue. Right. If there's no dialogue, sorry, if there's no effects, then just send out the normal dialogue. String. Dialogue. Yeah, it's going to be equal to, and let's just set this as the dialogue for now. For each, and this is where we're going to go through the effects. Okay. Color utility dot to HTML string RGB A. I'm going to get the E dot effect color, because when you do an inline color in your string, it's got to be hex color. So I'm going to start with that. String, just make this empty. String. So basically what I'm setting up here is that you're going to have some dialogue before the string, before the effect, some dialogue that's going to be the effect, and some dialogue that's after the effect. So basically I'm just setting them all up as empty for now, and then we'll fill that in later. So string, let's call this split dialog, dialog is equal to, and I'm just going to grab my return dialog and split it. I prefer doing this. There we go. If e dot, and this is where we're going to get the range now, effect range dot x, the minimum, is greater than 0. Oops, it's greater than 0. So if the range is larger than 0, then start dialog is going to be something. If it's 0, then it means that you're starting at the beginning. There is no start dialog. So start dialog equal to, oh wait, this is going to be a for loop. Why is that off? I'm going to be looping through each of the words. So for int that this is going to be E. Oh, E and effect range dot y plus 1. No, effect range dot x. I'm starting at the right. I'm starting at the beginning of the sentence up to x position, which is the beginning of the start, the effect range. So at the beginning of the effect. Okay, for those things, then the start dialog is going to be equal to start dialog dot effect dot no, plus the split dialog I. So get each of those plus a space. All right. That's my for loop. Next is let's look at the end. If e dot effect range dot y is less than the split dialog dot length minus 1. So if that's the case, then for int I equals e dot effect range dot y plus 1 comma I is less than split dialog dot length I plus plus. Okay. And to clean this up, since there's only one thing in the if, which is the for, I can actually relieve myself with those and those. So never nesting. That should be good. Okay. Now I want end dialog to be equal to whatever my end dialog is plus the split dialog I plus spaces. All right, that's my start and end. Now then, if e dot effect type, or did I just call it effect up here? Effect. So if effect is equal to wave, then effect dialog equal to wave. Semicolon. We've got wave. What were the ones I had? I forget what they actually look like. Wave, shake, bounce. I don't think it's bounce. It's going to be wiggle. Okay, wave, shake, wiggle, shake, not shame. And then the last one is finding out if the effect got effect color is not equal to color dot black, then I'm going to do something. So this is wave, this is shake, this is wiggle, and then this is I need to put in the hashtag, and then that's still inside of here, plus the color hex, and then plus close the bracket. All right, that adds them on. So this is the start of my effect dialog. Then I need the actual words in the effect dialog, which we've used before, which is just our for loop. And this time it's for int I is equal to e dot effect range dot what x is the start, and then I is less than e, oh wait, hold on, int e dot effect range dot y plus 1, and then I plus plus, and this will be effect dialog equals, no, it's the, what I do before, it's split dialog I with that, and that's it. And then once we're done with that, we then have to close everything off, but in reverse. So I'm going to take this, and this is where I go /color, and I don't need any of that. There. And then these ones, it doesn't matter. But they're all closing. Close, close, close. All right. So the return dialog is going to be equal to the start dialog plus the effect dialog plus the end dialog. All right. So at the beginning, if the range is more than 0, then there is no, then start dialog is empty. So start dialog empty. Then we do the effect. There's always going to be the effect. If there is no effect, we know that we will be returning the normal dialog. Now, why is this? I've got all my returns. Oh, I actually need to return the return dialog. Right, that's where I built it, but then I have to actually return it. And then all the way up here, that's all the for eaches. So every effect is going to add on their little spice. And this return dialog. And this is if there's no effects, just return the dialog. Good. This is how I create my effects. So this one, let's put a, I've got, I want him to wave. I'll give you a wiggle. So let's actually just make this work. I'm just going to put a text in here. Create empty UI text mesh bro. It's more than likely going to be on the bottom because what's going on? Oh, right. Yeah. All right. Now I need to add in a manager for the text animator. Okay, so once I add I'm not going to do the typewriter on this one. I'm just going to do the effects. Text animator. Here we go. Is that it? it should have created a manager. If I add this, would it add the manager? There's the manager. Okay, but I don't want the typewriter, I just want the animator. Save. And just as a demo, I take the text and I do and there's my wiggle. So that's wiggle. What if I do wave? That's the wave. And shake. That's the shake. Alright, but let's do a demo script here. Project folder. And scripts. Let's call this I've got her. I'll do it in here. So on start, let us get a dialog. So get. Obviously, that's not how this would normally work. So what am I returning? I'm returning a conversation SO. So conversation SO dot convo is equal to get dialog. That should work. Well, I said get that. Well, you know, let me. Non-local member MC cannot be used like a oh, shoot, right. Okay, so I'm going to store that in Convo. Obviously, something else is going to run that. I just want to get the I'm going to get the conversation SO default conversation because I haven't met anyone, so it's going to be the default that's going to run, obviously. So this convo is going to be the default conversation, and I just want to say text box is equal to text box dot text equal to our convo dot, it's the branch, the branch. What do we call the branches? That's effects text. The name, I want the branch. It's an effect. Oh, sorry, it's this. Right, branches. convo.branches, and I just want the first one because that's a list, isn't it? Branches, yes, list, and dot is it get text, get dialog, which is a method, and that should be it. One thing I need to do is put that conversation into default, because right now the conditions are to have met the scarecrow and two other conditions which are blank right now, but I haven't met the scarecrow, so I'm just going to use that one. And there's an error. Not set to the, oh, yeah, that's a stupid error. Should have known better. Drag the text into there. Another error. I don't have any data storage. That's right. And you know what? Let's do two of them. This is going to be a dialog called not met and she's going to say you have not met anyone, and she's pretty angry. Stop wasting her time. So that's going to be a shake, and it's going to be the full thing. Alright, save. Go back to here, go back to the witch, and this is going to be not met. And if I have met the scarecrow, then I'm going to say met everyone conversation. That's going to run. Okay, this time do not give me an error. No error and no dialogue. Time for some debugging. What's going on in the chat? Well, the Discord. Nope, looks like no one's up yet. Alright, where are we going wrong? I am... not met. On that branch, I get 0 from the branches. Same with this one. So obviously I want to find out if a conversation is being returned. So it's somewhere in here. Getting the dialogue. Get dialogue. Just got two of those. Okay. So for each of those, return. So it's like it's this. This is the first time I'm actually using this in Unity 6. So find object of type, and I think they want find any object. Use find first object by type, or finding any instance of acceptable. The faster is find any object by type. Find any object by type. And then you're going to tell me I'm missing a Y. That gets rid of that error and that error. Save. As for the other error, it's I'm not sure how to fix the other error. Or warning, not error. This. I'm not sure what this means. Typewriter animation hides inherited member component animation. Use the keyword if hiding was intended. I don't know what that means. And I've done the alt enter, and I didn't find anything. Anyone knows what that's about, then let me know. I have stuff in here I don't need. Anyhow, I'll just leave that. Oh, I keep getting this. I don't know why that when I'm restoring this the window, I think is when that comes up. And one way to get rid of it is to close this and reopen it. And then it goes away. That's a graphics card kind of thing, I guess. Okay, what were we doing? We're doing a test. Get rid of you, clear you. If that returns nothing, then it's not returning any of the conditional dialogues. So that's empty, so it's not that. Nope. Scripts. And what I'm going to get rid of you, get rid of you, and that's where it was. Okay, so one of those has to play. Okay, so I'm returning the default because I haven't met the condition. All right. So I am returning something. That sorts that out. So that default conversation is filled with something. Right there, not met. It's the, come on, this, not met. So something in this is messed up. So I went to get the branches. I got the first part of the branch, which is filled. So in the list of branches, I went for 0. Is that correct? I did do that. Branches, right, down here. So I got the dialog. I did this and I got the dialog. Came out with the default. So that should be stored in here. In the dialog, I went to the branches and I got 0. And now in the branches, there's the branch. And I went and I did get dialog. So it's something in here. So first, let's find out how many effects it finds. And I'm going to return the dialog because that's what's being put into this. For each effect that it finds, all right, let's see what happens. As expected, it's got one effect, which is this. Oh, wait, hold on. Not many one. Shake. Something went wrong there. shake. That's this guy here. There is a color. Did something go wrong at the color? The effect color is not black. So effect dialog is effect dialog plus that. How do I normally do this? Plus color with hex, the hex color which I did up here. Plus that. Effect dialog. So I take the shake and I put it into effect dialog, which was empty. And then if I need to add color, effect color, just up there, yep. If it's not black, then the effect dialog is equal to the effect dialog, which was already the shake, plus the color. And then we do, that's where we went wrong. And that's why I was saying close shake, right. Because this should be effect dialog plus that, and also we need, I did it here, this is correct here, but I did not do that for these. 2, 3, there. So basically once it got here and it was shake, it was overriding, so effect dialog just became that, and nothing else that came before mattered. Nothing else matters. That should work now, and I should have stopped this. For some reason, if I try this, a line like this, effect dialog, see, and it wants to give me that plus equals. This is how I have to do it. When I'm doing it with a string, for some reason this never seems to work. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to do some more testing. Maybe it's just I was using it wrong. I don't know, but that's why I'm doing this, where effect dialog equals effect dialog plus that. Because when you're doing with numbers, I could do plus equals. So plus equals 1, plus equals 2. I could use that, but this does not work. Sorry, this works, the other one doesn't. I don't know why. Now, like I said, this should work. We should see red text doing a shake. Yep, it's shaking. You have not met anyone. Stop wasting my time. Now, on data storage, let's meet the scarecrow. And we get our little bounce here, or no, that's not the bounce, that was the wave, or that's the wiggle. This is the wave. Is that right? Green is the wave, and the wiggle is Wizard of Oz. Yes. Okay, that is our setting up of our dialogue. How the dialogue's triggered is basically just going to be you walk up to the person and click on them. Yeah, something as simple as that. So I don't need to go through that. This morning has all been on doing the conditional conversations. And I'm going to end the stream off on that one. And I might stream again because, so this morning I'd planned for these things to happen. where's my tools, Leonardo? Oh, it was already open. He's always so quiet down there. Right. So what was I working on today is goals. The dialogue system, good. The walking system. So that's going to be a point and click. And yesterday when I was doing all my setting up, I was bringing in the plugin Polynav. So Polynav is going to do the path finding for all of my characters. All right, and so walking system with the follow system, those are going to come next. I might stream them, I might not. So have a good day, and I'm continuing on with the game jam. All right, bye.